Have you ever had that feeling like you know that you were put here for something more, but you're just not sure what it is? Or maybe you feel like you found your purpose, but you don't really know what to do with it. Well, if you said yes, then stick around for the next few minutes because I'm going to show you the exact 4-step method that I have used to help hundreds of coaches discover their superpower of service and how they turned it into a profitable and sustainable coaching business. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Dustin Wheeler, and I help coaches discover their superpower of service so that they can build and grow a profitable and sustainable coaching business of impact and income. And like I said, if you stick with me over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you this exact 4-step method that I use in my coaching business. So, ready to get started? All right, so number 1. This is all right, number 1 is your superpower and skills. Now, when you think about, you're like, well, I don't feel like I have any superpowers. Let me just tell you, your superpowers may not be something that you think is all that super. So for instance, when I was a child, actually still true to this day, when I was a kid, my parents always told me that I talked too much, right? I was talking to strangers. I would make friends with everybody at the grocery store, in the mall. And my parents were constantly worried that I would get taken because of how easily I had conversations with strangers. And so that may have driven them nuts, but come to find out, it's actually one of my superpowers and has really helped me build a profitable and sustainable business because not everybody can start up a conversation as easily as I can. So bam, that's a superpower. Now, the other superpower that I had that again wasn't necessarily, my parents didn't really think that it was a superpower. They told me that I did this too much, is I never took no for an answer. If they gave me a no, I found 10 other ways to ask the question so I could get my yes. Well, as a kid, that drove my parents crazy, but as an adult, that taught me the art of negotiation, and that has served me very well in my business. So again, your superpowers and your skills oftentimes come from what you did as a child, what people told you that you were too much of. They told you that you did constantly. They told you, to stop doing that. That's usually where you're going to find your skills and your superpowers. So let's go on to number 2. Number 2 is your trainings and your talents. So when you think of training, like anything that you did as a child that you wanted to get better at, did you take gymnastics? Did you take singing lessons? Did you take guitar lessons? And skills that you actually wanted to develop. Those are where your talents are going to come in. And so training doesn't have to be an education. We'll get to that. But training is something that you wanted to get better at. Maybe that you already had an affinity for, but that you just wanted to get better. Now, before we finish this list, I do want to bring one thing up. Don't censor this list before you've even started. The purpose of this list is to brain dump and take everything out of your head so that you can really see all of the amazing things that you're working with. And you don't have to be an expert to put it down on the list. I want you to think about something. One of the most Googled YouTube videos is how to boil an egg. Right? You may be thinking, well, that's not that big of a deal. Well, it may not be a big deal to you, but to the person that can't boil an egg or that doesn't know how to boil an egg, you're their superhero. So again, don't censor this list and don't only put things where you feel like you're an expert in, because you don't have to be an expert to help somebody. You just have to be a few steps ahead of them. So I want you to remember that while you're making this list. All right, so number 3. All right, number 3 is experience and education. Now, sometimes these go hand in hand and sometimes they don't, because you don't necessarily need to have a degree or certifications to help somebody. You do need the experience. And I promise you, success leaves clues. So if you write down the lessons that you've learned, the mistakes that you made, that you realize now could have saved you some time if you didn't make them, that's how you can help somebody where they're at right now. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be a guru. You just have to be a couple of steps ahead of them. And if you've successfully done it, I promise you there was a process or a framework that you went through to get that success. And that's what we try and pull out of the coaches, to show them that you have the ability and the power to be able to help somebody else go through that same thing. And then number 4 is passion and priority. Now, passion is what lights you up. If you were to think about what you want to do for the rest of your life, if money wasn't an issue, what would that be? And sometimes your passion comes from what you don't or what you like, but sometimes it comes from what you can't stand. Sometimes it comes from what you don't like. And what I mean by that is, when I started giving back to nonprofits, one thing that I couldn't stand is people that abused animals. So I started looking at nonprofits that would help animals, right? Help get them into recovery, help release them back in the wild. Because to me, that's something that I can't stand. So your passion doesn't always come from what you love, but it can come from what you hate as well. So just remember that. And then priority is, what is something that you're willing to put above all else? Because when you find your ultimate purpose, it doesn't always provide instant gratification. It doesn't always provide instant results. In fact, most of the time when you first get started, it's not going to give you those instant results. But you have to make sure that you are willing to put it as a priority in your life, because there are going to be good days and there are going to be bad days. But it's all about what it is that you want to do and what are you willing to put in the work for. Now, while you have this list, once you've got it done, I want you to filter it one more time. And I want you to ask yourself this question: what can I teach? So what can you teach from this list that you just created? And here's your starting point. Because I promise you, to find your purpose, the best way to find your purpose is to create it. So once you filtered it one more time about, through all these things, what could you teach? Then, my friend, you're ready to take the next step. Because again, the best way to find your purpose is to create it. And that's why I teach coaches how to leverage their expertise using the power of a binge-worthy workshop. Now, if you've never heard of that, that's okay. I want you to click the link below and go check it out, because this is where you can get started. Because you need 4 things to be successful in your business. You need clarity, you need confidence, you need cash flow, and you need client wins. And once you have those 4 things, then I promise you, you've got a profitable and sustainable business. And the magic and the power of utilizing and leveraging a workshop that's based off your expertise is that it's going to provide all 4 of those things for you, whether you're just getting started in business or whether you're looking to add more sales, more clients, more customers. So it really is for any stage of your business. It's going to help you get all 4 of those things, and it's going to help you become profitable as well. Because oftentimes the difference between this as a hobby and this as a profitable business is the ability to bring in cash flow. And my binge-worthy workshop methods, I show you step by step on how to create, price, and launch your very own profitable binge-worthy workshops in less than 7 days, utilizing what your answer is down there, what you can teach other people. So I hope that just by seeing this list, you see how much value you have to give to the world, because right now the world needs you now more than ever. So if you're ready to turn your ultimate purpose into a profitable and sustainable coaching business, then you're going to want to click the button and send me a message or leave a comment below so we can connect. And just for doing so, I'm going to send you the link to my Discovering Your Worth workbook that's going to help you really understand and dig into your superpowers even more so that you learn how to rise and shine online, even in this saturated market. So leave a comment, send me a message, grab your workbook today, and I can't wait to connect with you.